Yes, so topic, today's topic is how to break free from the 9 to 5 grind and build your dream business without exerting excessive effort and time wasted. I believe in effort. I believe that we live in a world of time and space, but I don't believe in wasting those important things in our life. It's time and space. Okay, so let me just tell you what it's about here. So I'm going to teach you, to teach people that feel trapped in the 9 to 5 grind or start their businesses, and the business owners are unable to progress, how to build their, and they kind of feel stuck, and they need to feel something holds them back, getting them to make right? Two types of people, either YouTube, sorry, Mr. C. Either you want to start your own business, or you started a business, but you feel stuck in that place. So I will not be talking. People ask me, am I going to sell some kind of no idea, no product? No, I'm not selling any ideas, no products. I'm not going to teach you about how to run a specific business. That's not what I do. It's not for people that are looking for business ideas or opportunities. So if that's you, thought I will sell you something, I think I was very clear about what we're doing. Like before the war in Torah, it says you can leave before you go to the war, right? If you feel that it's not for you, then feel free to go. We're not gonna feel bad about ourselves. Don't take it personal, okay? This is for people that want to know that they want to start a business. Approximately, they might even know what they want, probably, or they have their business and they just feel stuck there. Okay, that's it. So good. At the end, for those who will stay till then, I would love to share with you. I had 2-3 months ago, I had a free training on. Someone else comes. I had a free training on self-sabotaging behavior. Self-sabotaging behavior, in my experience, everyone once in a while has it. I'm one of them. And just have to discover it and know about yourself and know what to do about your self-sabotaging behavior. I had a client here in Staten Island a year and a half ago. He has money, he made some money, worked hard on his business for 8 years. He made $1 million a year and a half ago. He lost this money in a month. So we discovered that he has a problem, he has a challenge to connect to success. It's not part of his vocabulary somehow. So we had to work on this. Thank God we don't work together anymore. Because he got to his goals, and it's the most exciting thing when people stop working with you because they got to their goals. So at the end, I'll share with you. If you say the end, if I forget, please remind me. I'll try not to forget. I put here my notes to do it. In another case, 3 months ago, I had a guy. He wanted to start his business, Russian, Bukharian Jew, and so the problem is just he couldn't start. He had great ideas, just couldn't start. We discovered, crazy thing, we discovered that he has a fear of success. He's like, what is fear of success all about? People hear about it. Like, I remember when I just started my nonprofit, I'll tell you more about it in a minute. Some people hear, my students as well. When I started my nonprofit, someone asked me, are you afraid of success? I'm like, what kind of silly question is it, right? And then I got quite a few clients of mine that had this fear. So that was one of them. What was fear of success? What was his fear of success? Is that some time ago, he started a business with a partner. His partner lied to him. He stole all his money. He felt on top of the world. He was like so successful, and then he lost everything and went to the minus, into the red zone. One second. In his mind, it was registered that if I'm successful, the next step, I'm going to feel pain. That's a very simple. Not simple. It took us some time to discover it. I mean, 1 hour, right? But once we discovered it, almost right after he started his business, he had a great idea. He just was not able to start it. Once he realized, one second, it's just my mind is just playing some shticks with me. It's not okay. And second, I'll mute you. Sorry, I'm not mean usually, but here I do this. Okay, so I'll share it at the end. Please just, if I forget, remind me. I'll try not to forget. Okay, I have an agenda. My agenda is to show people that if you wanted to start your business or anything in life, any big change in your life, any habit, but 95% of people that come to me come because they want to start a business or they feel stuck in the current business or they want to transition to another business. I want my agenda here to show you that one major component to be successful is being ignored by most people. The major component is your mindset, right? If you have a healthy mindset, I would even call my mindset of someone who's successful, you have higher chance to get there. You might have all the tools in the world. Like I had a guy, he said now he has a medical office in Manhattan. People fly to him from all over the world. It's one of my videos, and I can give you more details in my LinkedIn. You can see, you can find him if you really want to. So he was not able to scale his business. He had almost monopoly in his business. He was one of the few male doctors in that thing, and specifically for men, right? He could not scale his business. It was easy. He went he had a special training with other people that want to scale their businesses. Everyone became mega wealthy, including the guy who ran the seminar. There was one exception. He did not make it. And we worked on something else in the beginning, and then we worked on that area in his life. What we discovered is that he does have these three things. It was one of them, limiting belief. We'll talk more about it. Many people don't know what this limiting beliefs are. It's beliefs that limit you. I like to say it like very shortly. Number two, self-sabotage behavior. And number three, his heart was not aligned with his mind. It's basically mindset. One thing which was crazy, I think, what we discovered, we'll talk more about that soon, hopefully, Hashem's help. What we discovered was that, number one, he wanted in his life what his friends wanted, American dream. Did not speak to his heart. He didn't make much money because of this. I mean, he was upper middle class, that's fine, but could have done way more than that. Number two, the crazy thing, we discovered that he had a challenge to become successful, similar but different reason, because he had fear to outshine his older sister. What is it here? What means fear to outshine your sister? His sister was a couple of years older than him, and he is smarter than her, more successful in school, in college, and business. Every time he would come home and brag about his successes, his parents would tell him, would show you that they're not happy about this behavior, right? Because it makes his sister feel hurt. In his mind, he had this image, almost like on subconscious level, that if I'm successful, I'm going to be left out. My family will not want to be with me. It's the worst feeling in the world for a person. His family is going to refuse him. So he had fear to outshine his sister, right? Once we discovered that, I feel like a month later, I remember he bought something expensive, like a watch. And I challenged him. I told him, could you please go to your parents and show them your watch? Like, not to brag, but like, look at this. Like, I have this job, and I'm able to afford this kind of lifestyle, and see if they're going to be miserable or not. He came back to me next week, and so they were very excited about it. It was the biggest nachas that they could have gotten from him. That he's actually, because they didn't know about it. He would never tell this to them. Because in his child's mind, which is like he's 30 plus years old, his mind was, if I'm successful, I'm not going to be welcome in my family. So that's the idea of how mindset affects you. This guy doubled his business within 2 months. Just from this clarity about himself. I mean, it took him some more time to make it part of his life, to rewire his brain. But so that's my agenda here, to show you that everything starts and ends in your mind, in your heart, in your subconsciousness. And if you go even deeper, I have another head. Some people here know me. For my other head, I'm also a rabbi, and everything happens in your soul as well. The deeper you go into yourself, that's where your life happens. External things, fine. In Kabbalah, they talk about the idea that this world is compared to it's an Alma de Shikra, world of illusion, right? And the real game, real life happens inside of you. That's my agenda to show you, and hopefully you'll get some tools as well, some mindset shifts as well. Most people, okay, fine, forget most people. Let me just focus on you right now. And let me show you a few really cool things. Good. So let's start. Let's start. So my story, let's start first my story. It's important to know who I am, and it will help you also to a little bit understand what I do. So I was born and grew up in the former Soviet Union. I was 11 years old when Soviet Union collapsed. Probably Lenny here, one of the people here probably also experienced that, right, Lenny? Were you part of that experience, or you left even before it collapsed? You were lucky enough to live later. Okay, fine. So I was born in the former Soviet Union, and yeah, Lenny, what's your story?
Yes, I left 94. It's collapsed 91. I left
Right.
94.
You like
But I
myself.
left was 34 years. You
Oh.
left 9.
Yeah, good. I was still 11-year-old child, but I remember it really well. One thing which I really stuck with me forever was that the idea of freedom. Freedom in my family is probably one of the most important themes. We didn't speak about much. It was one of the most important things. My parents were fighting for freedom before collapse and after collapse. So I lived in Belarus. The democracy never kicked in Belarus. It was always and not such a thing to start your own business, start your own organization back in Russia. It was like close to impossible. So that was my blessing and the opposite of my blessing. But I'll talk about it soon. So feeling of not having this freedom and getting this is like super important. So the past 9+ years, I had an amazing chance to start my own nonprofit. A few people are here from my nonprofit here. Second, let's move someone here. Sorry. Do this for you. I started my nonprofit, and many people are impacted by this. I'm one of them, and people that work for us right now. We're expanding, we're tripling our impact in terms of our budget and our impact. And I'm also grateful to start a coaching practice, and we helped hundreds of people, which is I myself, and I also have a team of people that help people and individually with the businesses, whatever it is. So this was beautiful, and I'm really enjoying this. I feel very blessed and grateful to Hashem, to God, for allowing me to do this. But it was not always the case. It was not always the way. Just sometime before that, actually, I was working for a very good cause, where I had a great boss. Almost every job I had the best bosses and best environment. I worked in Germany for 6 years. I worked in Brooklyn for 2 years. So my problem was I just could not handle being boxed in. And even there's one tiny disagreement and I don't have upper hand, I just couldn't do it. And I basically sabotaged my way to get fired from my previous job. And I got 3 job offers and I refused them all. Because I realized now is my chance. And the person who fired me, we're still friends. A month ago, he invited me to 2 of his branches to talk about coaching, outreach organization, and I did it. And he wants some collaboration with me right now. Like, we're still friends, but I just couldn't work even for him. For multiple reasons, I just hate 9 to 5. And a lot when no one tells you what to do. There's advantage and disadvantage. Like, if no one tells you what to do, someone needs to guide you probably. So I hire my coaches, I have rabbis to guide me. I have one rabbi who guides me and multiple coaches that guide me as well. I like to do what is right. Even if we make a mistake, it's fine. So I feel like I'm able to express myself. That's kind of what guided me to that. My time, I have my own, I decide whenever I want to have vacation, I have my own vacation. And no one can tell me when to do it. When I remember I had a fight once about my vacation. Also the same with money. In nonprofit, you don't make much money, but in your coaching, probably can make more money, or some other businesses, I assume as well. Okay, so thank God I was let go. And the first couple of years were really painful, and I had no guidance. And it was like, right now, if someone wants to start a business, I kind of don't encourage people to jump out of the 9 to 5. Do slowly, transition slowly. But I have a couple of people right now in my program, they were fired as well. Like, not just were fired, otherwise probably would still stay there. Same thing, they decided I want to use the opportunity, and thank God they starting their businesses right now as we speak. Okay, now I learned how to get out of my comfort zone. The main thing I learned how to do is not to get in my own way. This is probably the biggest thing I learned about myself, that I am usually my worst enemy, right? We'll talk about it very soon. So some of my major breakthroughs were realization, faith, the faith that I can actually get to my goals. The real like belief, trust that, you know, I can do it. Even though it's painful, and it was like, I remember once I was, like after a year and a half of trying to my nonprofit, I felt like in darkness. And I once I was with my wife in a car, we bought lottery tickets. I remember in Brooklyn, like today, we bought a lottery ticket. And I'm not sure if my friends here, Dennis and Ari, know about it, but I'll tell you now. And I told my wife, you know what? If you're gonna win now, a lot of money, we'll keep on pushing. If not, I'll get a job. What can we do? And drum roll, we did not get any money. And my wife tells me, you know what? No, we're still gonna do it. For a year and a half, you told me like how it's important for you. Like I would imagine myself like after like 120 years old, or before 120 years old, I'm on my deathbed, and I look back at my life. Like, was it worth it for me to quit in the middle or not? That was kind of my thought. My heart, I really would feel connected, but listen, I have responsibility to my family. I can't just be a dreamer all my life. My wife told me, no, I see it, we need to do it, and we did it. 3 months later, things started to happen. Like almost quit, thank God we didn't quit. So my major realization, and then I had people that were helping me later on when I started my coaching business, coaches, and before it was a beautiful thing once you have guidance. And all I say my message. I try to help people get faster to their goals. Like when I started my coaching, I was like first year was like also in darkness. Like, what am I doing here? Is it gonna ever happen or not? Okay. Thank God there I had a lot of guidance, like someone in the middle, and thank God I persevered. And I believe in Kvitsaderech and shortening the way it's possible, but all starts here once again. Okay. Okay, so let's by the way, I'm not sure what you're up to. Maybe can you just drop in the chat if you're 95 or you have your own business? Just want to know who you're talking to here right now. But no matter what you're doing right now, if you're still here and I told you to start my business, oh, Mazal Tov. I know you spoke before. That's beautiful. Please write 9 to 5, you have your business. That's what I want to know. So no matter what you are up to right now, since you're still here with us, after 24 minutes, probably is important for you. And you want to get to your next step, your next level in your own life, your business, whatever you do. Can you just for a minute, just 9 to 5, thank you. Just imagine that you actually got to your goals. Like imagine that one of the exercises I give to my clients is 7 to 6. That's an interesting time. Okay. Imagine that you have 3 most successful years of your life. Oh, beautiful. I mean 9 to 5 and 10 to 5, but it's fine. Good. You can share me with your hours. Okay, imagine you have 3 most successful years of your life. Regarding topic you came here for, let's say your business. Just if you don't know how to get there, fine. There are 3 conditions, which I tell people 3 conditions. Number 1 needs to be exciting, and number 2 needs to be realistic. Number 3, don't worry how to get there. You have this inner compass, your head, and your mind tell you that that's a great goal. That's fine. You can start dreaming. Ambitious, realistic, and don't worry how to get there, because otherwise you're gonna have this black sphere. Just for one minute, just let's dream for 1 minute. I just want to give you one tool here, one tool there, and you might get major benefit without doing much after the program. Okay, 24 hours. Oh, that's scary stuff. Probably have business. Okay, so I'll mention directly. Okay, 3 hours from now, imagine 1 minute. How does it feel? What do? You have success in what you want to accomplish. You're just realistic, ambitious. I'm dreaming as well right now. I do it every night, by the way, when I brush my teeth. Okay, so let's dream. How does it feel? Can you just drop in the chat? How does it feel right now? Imagine you actually got there. Like actually got there. This exercise helps people to connect their goals on a much deeper level, as opposed to just think what I want to accomplish. Imagine you actually got there. Yeah. Living life again. Oh, beautiful. That's what I hear a lot. Okay, how do you feel right now? You actually got the goal. I'm giving you a tool right now. This tool could change some people's minds right away. I do more things. I'll share with you some soon. What else I do? But just this one question could change or alter your life a little bit. So how do you feel, guys? Only there's so many people here. No one dreams. You dream. You're still dreaming. How do you feel about it? Like feeling success of 3 years from now. By the way, 3 years. By the way, because 3 years is close enough to be realistic and far enough to be ambitious. That's why the 3 years, the number that I like to use. Oh, Monisha has a guitar as well. I love. It's my guitar here. I have more than one. Okay, how does it feel? No, share with me, please. I'll wait. 5 seconds. Released. Oh, like almost like getting out of prison. How does it feel? Imagine that I can start living, enjoying life. Oh, wow, beautiful. Shy, in your case, thank God you started your business, you're going to get there sooner. But by the way, I'm not against 9 to 5. I'm not against 9 to 5. In my case, just doesn't work, but for some people, it works well. Actually, I had once one guy I encouraged to start his business 10 years ago, and he was afraid to start his business. He started his business. His wife was even more afraid. I met him a year ago in some kind of event. I asked the guy, I'm on my own, beautiful. I asked the guy, how does it feel to run your business? Now, 10 years later, business is still running. He tells me, I love it. I said, what do you love about it? He tells me freedom. Wow, freedom. I know what it means. I go to his wife, no connection, same event. I ask his wife, no, whatever. She tells me she works 9 to 5, some kind of nursing, whatever place. And how do you feel about it? She tells me, freedom. I work 9 to 5, come home, I don't need to think about anything. Look at that, 2 people, husband and wife, freedom from different place. I'm not against 9 to 5, not my goal. I'm not trying to convince anyone. People that come to us, they're already convinced on their own. I'm just helping them to get there. Okay, okay, good, beautiful, thank you. So this dreaming, by the way, dreaming is great. There are some big coaches out there, very big ones. You go to their seminars, pay a lot of money and come back every year because they make you dream. It feels great. So the problem, if you don't do anything about it, it becomes like an addiction. Because you don't do anything, just dream. So we like to go back and actually think how to take steps to get there. Right? It's not enough to dream. Okay, let me just tell you what to expect today. So we have now 30 more minutes. I usually talk fast, but I want to make sure people understand me. Can you understand me? My English is sort of understandable or not? Please tell me yes or no. I just want to know. Face to faces, people like some kind of connection. Otherwise, please tell me, do you understand my Russian, German, English? Yes. So Rabbi Fried, I think his name. Remember? Understands me? Yes. Thank you. Speak louder. Oh, that's beautiful feedback. I will get this thing close to me. I'll speak louder now. Okay. 50-50. Good. So I'll get it's like a hypnosis. Like you don't understand what happens here, it goes into your subconsciousness. Hopefully you get something. Okay, I will try to speak slower and more and louder. Okay, good. Most of English is not perfect. It's good enough. Thank you. I know my English is not perfect, but good enough is a compliment for me. Speak slower. No. Okay, fine. I'll try. Okay, there are 3 false beliefs. Oh wow. Oh wow. Good. Perfect. Amar, thanks for sharing with us. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll be slow, but I'll try to cover the material. There are more than 3, but 3 false beliefs that I discovered not too long ago. Here. Please mute yourself, guys. See, oh, I see you. Easy. Sorry. I did it to you. Okay, 3 false beliefs. Number one. This idea of working on your mindset. It sounds very interesting, really cool, but I don't understand how this can help me to start my business. Like I need tools. I need to know what to do. I need the money, right? I need whatever you need. But how does this work in your mindset? But not even tangible. Something like not even tangible. How is it going to help me to start my business? False belief number one. Number two, I'm talking about from my experience dealing with many people. I'm number one. I'm one of number one. I'll tell you soon. Even if I would get best guidance, right? It will be too hard and it will take a lot of time to get to my dream, whatever, starting a business or get to the next level in your business or to start whatever, your habit, whatever you work on. It's like, it's impossible, close to impossible. All this guidance is beautiful. And even, you know what people tell me, it feels good in the moment. Like you like while you're there, it feels exciting, feels like, wow, I feel great. And then it's over and just like back to normal. Like, how's it going to help me? Number three, maybe it's going to help me to whatever level, but most people don't make it. Definitely, most people don't make it in business and can't even change their, like people not even able to change their negative habits. Like, why am I better than 90, whatever, 2% of Americans? I tell you why this 92%, what they're doing here. People that have New Year's resolutions, only 8% follow them out of in America. This was like 10 years ago. I have to check what's this year. 92% of Americans fail within 2 weeks after deciding to work on something, right? So who says I'll be better than them? And especially businesses, like most businesses fail within first year, right? Okay, so those three false beliefs, I think they're false beliefs, almost like limiting beliefs for many people. Okay. Number one, I don't understand how this mindset thing will help me. How is it going to help me to start my business? As I mentioned, I'm from former Soviet Union. And if you ask my friend here, Lenny, is still around? Let me see if my friend Lenny is here. Oh, Lenny is here, yeah. So if you know Russian speaking Jews, ask them if they're skeptical or not.
Yes.
Oh, very much so, right? You know why? I can tell it very simple. Because to survive in former Soviet Union is impossible if you're not skeptical. There's KGB around you and all kinds of crazy things happen to you. You have to be very careful to do whatever you want in life, right? So that's what's also part of my upbringing. Be skeptical before you take anything. Just 7 times, they told us 7 times measure, and then you cut. Whatever there's Russian, 7 раз отмерь, 1 отрежь. Right? Be very skeptical. Don't run anywhere. When I decided to give it a chance to one coach, my colleague, also Rabbi, and I did not believe. I love the idea of dealing with your mind, with your psyche for 20 plus years. That's what I was doing. Just like, but if you're Russian, you think that if you go to a therapist, you're probably crazy. So I did not even enter in my mind I could become a therapist one day. And I didn't want to deal with mental challenges, mental issues, fine. But once I discovered the idea of coaching, I'm like, oh, let me just explore it. Because it's not like dealing with mental issues, but it's something to do with your mindset. I was skeptical. I gave my coach that I'm still in touch with for years. He still helps me, still guides me. I've hired many more. This guy's still with me. I'm still with him. After 10 minutes, I saw the power of coaching and mindset. I was like, wow, that's crazy. That thing works. Not just like talking. It's results oriented, and you get more clarity, and then you actually start doing things. You didn't do it before. So I got so much more clarity about myself. I'm right now 43 years old. And certain things, if I would have known about them a while back, my life would look different. But thank God it didn't happen. I made my mistakes, and now I can help others not to repeat them. Okay. So there's one guy, I'll tell a crazy story which happened about mindset. Small, tiny mindset shifts. There's one guy, he instead now one of my partners, one of the founders of my organization, my nonprofit. Oh, this is my nonprofit here. Oh, looks just what's here. Interesting. Okay, I usually don't brag about my nonprofit here, but fine. I just saw the brochure. So one of my founders, when I just started my coaching practice, I tried to network. I told him, listen, you are a very social guy. Talking slowly now. You are very social. You know people. Maybe let me give you a coaching session. And if you like it, you'll tell your friends. If you don't like it, then okay, it's fine. That was my first business model. I don't do it anymore. Maybe a little bit, but not really much anymore. We had a long conversation, and he tells me, I do not believe in this thing. I'm sorry, like, how can you help me? And then David spoke and he said, you know what, David, you have 10 minutes now. Do your magic. Show me how it works. 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, not a magician, but if that's what he wants. So I asked him what his challenge was. And he told me his challenge. His challenge was once he got married, he looked like skinny like a pickle. And now he looks quite overweight. And he tells me, I don't know why. I tried to start diet and I just can't. I always fail. What we discovered, I asked him just a few questions. It was like a fast gain. We discovered crazy thing. He was just wow. He was shocked. We stopped. It was like 5 minutes in the conversation, not 10 minutes even. He discovered that when he was a child, he would watch Holocaust movies. And in his child's mind, he connected looking like a skeleton and death. If you're skinny, you're gonna die. That's what's connection. He didn't even think about ever, once in his life. And I didn't do any tricks, no magic, regular coaching, right? Regular questions that helped him to discover himself a little bit. So he realized this is not true. Because this is his belief, whatever, for years, which he didn't even, he was afraid if I start diet, I'm going to die tomorrow. It's not true, but it's something inside of him there was tension, like different parts of him was kind of fighting. So in my coaching, I very much emphasize on alignment. Your heart needs to be aligned. We're going to talk more about the heart soon, about second false belief. Your heart needs to be aligned with your mind. You might know whatever you want. And 100% of Americans know what they want, but only 8 make it. Why? Because the heart is not connected to their mind, right? It's alignment of different parts of you. If one part of you, let's say, wants something, like this guy wants to lose weight and feel healthier. And one part of him, which he doesn't know which part, that this part even existed before we spoke, doesn't want it. It's like when you drive in a car, one foot on the gas pedal, another foot on brake. Like, how far are you going to get? The more you let go of brake pedal, the faster you're going to go. That's going to happen to you. Once you realize that that's what's happening, this was like major breakthrough for him. I used to have I have self-mastery program, my AP program, which I'll talk more about if you want. So I used to run one for women. I stopped. I don't have enough time for this. So right now I just focus on men for my group. Women actually better than men. They get to the results much faster. They're so much more coachable, so much more flexible. It's just pleasure to work with. But I don't have time to save the whole world, so I focus on just male part of the world. So I shared this idea to my women in my program. This was Sunday before Purim. You know that before Purim, there's a tradition to fast. So this lady told me that she only fasted. She's an observant lady. About Shuvah, she became observant later in life. She told us that she only fasts on Yom Kippur. And it's painful. She doesn't know how she's doing it. Doesn't fast on any other fast days. We have more than one. Right? We have more than one. And when I told them this story, when I introduced the concept of self-sabotaging behavior and limiting beliefs, she's like, 1 second, that's me. It was like, that's it, we fixed her, just from one story. That's why I like to tell stories about things that I do with my clients, because some people just actually connect to them. And they're able to either same story or similar, or they kind of get another idea, connect to their own life. Okay, nice, beautiful. So now, she fasted the first time. It was next day. Right now she's she joined us for that reason, and just like it was week number 5 when she kind of got this breakthrough, and other things also start to get better in her life. Thank God. Okay, so I mentioned it before to you as well, how I was able to help this Israeli doctor on the island, who was able, right? So once you're able to connect to certain deeper part of you, which is you, really your life. The problem is we live on autopilot. Our life happens on autopilot. And you can't expect big changes if it didn't work till now. So who says it's going to work later? I forgot how I said, like Whatever brought you here is not going to bring you there. I don't know if it's in English or something like that, right? If you live on autopilot, you're just going to continue same way of life. But if you are stop for a minute and actually start to invest in yourself, in your own mindset, you might change, you might rewire the way you think, and you might get to your results much faster. Good. Next. Oh, actually, let me tell one more thing, which that's super crazy. So this guy lives in Chicago. He's actually very successful actuary, and he really wanted to start his business for years, like 10 years, I think. He had business plan all these years. He knew exactly what to do. He just never was able to do it. So he joined one of these webinars. Actually, I was talking more about limiting beliefs. He loved it. He joined our course. He started his business within a few weeks. He does make a lot of money. He still works 9 to 5. He still is actuary in his company. He needs to pay the bills, but he's already making moves. He was not able to close any deals before, and now he started doing this because your mindset is crucial. You can't do anything without it. Okay, that's number one. Secret number one is you need. Oh, so now let me tell something else. So your mindset, the 3 steps here, what I'm doing. It's a little Kabbalistic idea, but it's in very simple terms. We believe that we are a vessel, right? That is able to either to receive the blessing or the opposite, right? If it's a broken vessel, if it's not a strong vessel, it's not going to be able to receive the blessings. So what I believe what people need to do is, number one, make it strong. Make a strong vessel, which is able to accept the blessings. And this world is abundant. God gives us so much, more than we need, way more than we need. The world is abundant, especially like living in this country or any European country that some people are here from. Number one, build your vessel. Number two, expand it. In Torah we say, God tells us, open your mouth and I'll fill it. You have to learn how to open our mouths, so to speak, to open your vessel, right? So like this exercise I gave you in the beginning, the dream bigger, that expands your vessel a little bit. There are more things I do with people to expand and strengthen. And third thing, same vessel, things that are inside that vessel, we call limiting beliefs, that self-doubts, fears, all those things that's like the mental hurdles. You have to remove them from that vessel. Okay, so those 3 things I believe mega important for your healthy mindset. Mega important for your healthy mindset. I have to look, but I think people call it something like successful mindset. Like if you actually, I have a very close student, and I coach him a lot as well, and he's one of the biggest funders for my nonprofit. I met him many years ago. I was clear from day one. This guy has successful mind. He started making money. He lost everything. It was like dark part of his life happened, whatever. I was always friends with him. I would always help him, always be on his side. I knew he'll make it, 100%. Because the way he thought, the way he felt, was just like there was no way out. Like you got to get to your goals. You'll get there. So this is what you have to create. And if you're people that have a lot of money or whatever, and they lost it all, it's almost, not always, but oftentimes you know that these people somehow will make it. I mean, it's not a guarantee. It's not everything is up to us. And I understand that I live in this world and I deal with different people. Some of my clients lost businesses, still trying to, some have good time, whatever it is. But this mindset, if it's not there, this is the idea, which is I'm not a Kabbalist, but this idea is called moichin de katnos, moichin de gadlus. There is expanded and constricted state of mind. So moichin de katnos is when you think constricted and you just don't allow the blessing to come to you. And the moichin de gadlus is when you expanded state of mindset. So the mindset is crucial. Like if you don't let God give you blessings, like what do you expect? And you can blame on muzzle, on or whatever else you want to blame. Good. Next. That's first belief. Number 2, it will be too hard. It will take a lot of time. I have to work like nonstop, and like someone actually told me he works 24 hours a day. Okay, if you enjoy it, okay, fine. I can't guarantee you that it's going to happen to you, but people that I work with, quite a few of them, we create like a dream. First, we dream, right? Like it's not dreaming; it's like creating a vision, and then we get to our current state to see what we're up to. So I actually, I do. I just want to show you here my whiteboard, and also here I have a lot of other things I want to show you here. So most of things that are visible in my office have to do with my mindset, with work on myself. Whatever I give to my clients, that I give to myself. And all I need for my work, for my nonprofit, and for my business is just my computer. And the rest is just my own mindset, what I work on. What you really need is clarity and vision and focus. I have this one guy, just this, what today? Today is what? Today is Wednesday. On Tuesday, yesterday, one of my clients, my program, my self-mastery program, he complains to me. He says, like, I don't know what to do. He actually joined us from this kind of, from one of those webinars 3 weeks ago. This guy for a long time, he was fired for a very lucrative job, a lot of money, and now he decided, I don't want to take another job. Yes, side job in sales, but he invests right now in his own business. But the problem is he did not do much, and he felt he was actually busy, very busy, but somehow like no results. This guy was even more interesting. On Sunday, he tells me he already started to see results before he joined our program on Tuesday. See, once your focus is there, it's like someone who wants to join us, start working in December only in December. So fine. Once he pays his deposit, he's gonna start seeing results because now that's his he wants to get there. His focus is there. So this guy on the Monday, he messaged, sent a voice note saying that I did not get to my monthly goal. Like we're almost a month and finished the program in his business. And then he realized, he started looking back, said, no, I did get it. I did get to my monthly goal. Another guy told me that he got to his 3-month goal after 2 weeks. If you have clarity about your vision and you actually focus on that. So one important part also is another alignment. I mentioned before, alignment, your heart, your mind, different parts of you. There's another alignment which is super crucial, super important between your deep desires and the action. If there is disconnect, if you do not do what you really want, if you don't take steps, you just dream about them, you create disharmony, first of all, and people can't live in this harmony. They're either going to forget about their dreams, just push them aside, or they're going to actually do something about it. So the part of what we do with people is starting those steps, whatever it is. That's why when people join us, only people that are ready to do something. If you just want to dream, maybe one day I do something about my life, my business, you're not ready. At least 2 or 3 people within 2 weeks right now, I told them not to join us because they're not ready for this. Like it's fun, it's exciting, but you got to really, really want. Because once you want, you create this focus, this vision, and start taking steps. Because once you start, in Torah we call it naseh v'nishma. You do, and then you understand. Once you start taking steps, you actually start to understand what you want. Your vision gets more clear. Okay, taking steps make it. So we have the whole. We create the whole like domino. We create domino. Actually, no. Let me just show you something really cool about the vision and how it works. Let me just show you this really cool thing. Let me show you 1 minute, 1 minute YouTube video, if I may. I show this always to my clients the first session. And that becomes our like kind of lingo for the entire program. Vision. You right now take steps. Let me show you why steps are important. I tell you what's problem with vision. When you create a big vision, you might freeze. You might think it's not for me. I'm never gonna get there. So what do you do? Either you abandon it fully, or you make it smaller. Like, oh, I had a client. Some people here know this one guy. I can't tell the name. So he was working for a company. He joined my self-mastery program, and he had certain vision, certain kind of goal in his life. After 2 weeks, he realized he actually can get there. He made it bigger. He says, "Oh, I can get there actually." So let me. He was afraid because it's smart. Because he might freeze. So instead, he just made it a little bigger. His vision. His vision was to become partners with his boss, which was major jump to make just join the company. It's a very good company. He wanted to become partners with his boss. That's his vision, and the expanded version 2.0. He called me 2 weeks ago. He tells me, "No, I was thinking about myself. I was thinking about the vision. I was thinking about all like it did connect with on deep level with him. He realized he needs to start his own company, right? He became competition to his boss, not partner. Now it's competition, and now they're closing, they're finalizing the partnerships, and they start a business. So he told me this was connected to his mindset. Like he's ready to jump. He was able to. So the vision, when it's too big, it's scary. But once you see that you actually can make it there, it becomes less scary, it becomes exciting. Let me share with you this video. Just show everyone. I'll show it to you as well. So I can share screen, share sound, optimize for video clip, share, enjoy.
Everybody knows about playing with dominoes, but what you may not know is that a domino can knock over another domino, which is about 1.5 times larger. So what I have here is a chain of dominoes. Each one is 1.5 times larger than the previous one. And the smallest domino is about 5 millimeters high and 1 millimeter thick. And I will carefully place it. And there are 13 dominoes. And the largest domino, it weighs about 100 pounds and is more than 1 meter tall. Ready? Boom. That was 13 dominoes. If I had 29 dominoes, the last domino would be as tall as the Empire State Building.
Isn't it cool? Every time I watch this, like I get goosebumps. It's like crazy. It's 19, right? It's unbelievable. What are your thoughts about it before I continue? What are your thoughts about this? What comes up to you after you watch this short clip with dominoes? If you want, you can say when I hear someone's voice, or you can just drop in the chat. Oh, did not see it. I am sorry. No one saw it? Yes. Sorry, I'll do once again. My fault. Un momento. Let's try again. I'm not so, yeah, I did not do it. I'm not so good with technology, so you have to forgive me. Let's try again. 1 second.
Everybody knows about playing with dominoes, but what you may not know is that a domino can knock over another domino, which is about 1.5 times larger. So what I have here is a chain of dominoes. Each one is 1.5 times larger than the previous one. And the smallest domino is about 5 millimeters high and 1 millimeter thick. And I will carefully place it. And there are 13 dominoes. And the largest domino, it weighs about 100 pounds and is more than 1 meter tall. Ready? Boom. That was 13 dominoes. If I had 29 dominoes, the last domino would be as tall as the Empire State Building.
Did you see now? Guys, please tell me. Yes. Oh, finally. Sorry. I gotta hire someone to do my. Wow, that's crazy. Isn't it crazy? It's unbelievable. Like every time today, because of you, I watched twice. It's my mistake. It's like unbelievable. It's unbelievable to get to your Empire State Building. It's close to anything. I was so excited when I discovered this idea. My coach showed this to me. I use it every time with all my clients, with my groups, just to see how closer you are to your goals. It's unbelievable. It is crazy. So what are your thoughts? Just what are your takeaways from this short video? I'm just curious. You want to tell me, or you drop in the chat. What are your takeaways from this short video? We can apply it to ourselves. Anything is possible, you probably mean, right? Beautiful. I want to just tell you one thing. I want to tell you one thing. And I don't want to offend anyone, but I'll tell you one thing. Focus. Yes. What's also right, exactly. Also, what it shows that every step you're taking right now, even smallest step, will give that energy, the next one. Without the first step, it's impossible to push that final domino. It's impossible. So each step is crucial. It's another thing we learned from this thing. I want to just tell you, people here, I'm not sure who is Jewish or not Jewish. Many people here are observant, as I understand. Some not. It's fine. But I believe, and I learned about it, Tzadok Cohen says as well, you have to believe in yourself. It's as important, it's as important to believe in yourself as to believe in God. Right? God gave you soul, he gave you his partnership. And you're just like, you know what I can do? Like, who am I? If you don't know the story, I'll share with that very quickly. The miracle and the spies before they went to the land of Israel, and they get scared because of, they said, the big giants there. How are we going to conquer the land? How are we going to go there? It's impossible. Because they didn't believe in themselves, and like God gave them this mission. He can do it. And God is on their side. Don't worry about the giants. Oftentimes we create our own giants. Like, oh, I can't get there. It's impossible. I'm sorry. Like, not me. Who says it's going to be? Right? A certain level of fear, of a heresy. I'm sorry, but that's it. I learned from Tzadok Cohen. I spoke with other people about it as well. I'm not talking about arrogant way of thinking about it. It's me. I'm self-made man. That's not true. That's just crazy. You're not God. You didn't create yourself, right? But to tell you that you cannot get there just because it's impossible, fine. If it makes sense logically, right? If you think it's possible to get there, and your heart feels right, who says you're not going to get there? There's a book. I think it's called Five Regrets of Dying. 5 Regrets of Dying, and one of the most common regrets that they talk about there is regret of not doing what you really wanted to do. Right? I can't guarantee that everyone is going to be successful in their business, their endeavors. I can't guarantee. But what I can tell you is, if you really want it, and you never give yourself a chance to do it, just because you're like afraid, and I'm not minimizing fears and doubts. That's what we help people with the mindset. I get it, but it is a very painful realization. Not even trying. Like I spoke with someone like last week. If you tried this venture and you failed, fine, you failed. Let's say miserably. Would you still be proud of trying? And what do you tell your kids and grandkids about what you actually tried? Right? Okay, you didn't accomplish. That's fine. There's one guy right now. I'm meeting with him on Thursday. He told me he started business a long time ago, and after half a year he got scared. Whatever. His friend stayed in that business, became majorly wealthy, and now he regrets that he didn't do it. Not just because of money. Money is secondary. It's also important. There's freedom that he could have gained, and other things he could have, the impact he could have had. He doesn't have it, and now he wants to do it. Actually, he's not ready for this, but we're going to meet on Thursday and see how we can help him with his dream. Okay, so we don't have much time. We have 15 minutes. The final thing is your mind and heart need to be aligned. Because people say like I who says I'm gonna get there, it's impossible. There's more than a heart. There is your image, your identity needs to be also, you have to have healthy, clear identity about who you are. Because you can try to do whatever you want so that they could have whatever you want. But if you not connect to who you really are, it is very hard to get to your goal. If you don't, I'm talking about different areas of your life. Let's say the area of your life as a businessman or whatever it is, you have to create healthy identity of who you are. That identity will teach you, will guide you to almost to manifest the action, right? And your heart. If your heart is like your fuel, your vision helps you in the beginning when you just start your journey, and at the end, once you got there. That's a vision. I mean, I want to make sure people always remember about it, but this kind of main purpose for vision is start the journey and finish it, to know where to get to. In order to be able to get to that from place A to place Z, you need your heart to be aligned with your vision. Don't give up. It's gonna be hard. Like I remember my story about I was giving up, but I created such a strong sense of purpose in my family that everyone was behind it, and it was just obvious that we got to do it. Thank God we did it, and I'm very proud of those 2 years. Those 2 years, the hardest 2 years of my pride. Afterwards, it's nice, and I'm grateful that God helps us and helps many more people. But the first 2 years and the first year in my coaching, these are times when I'm actually proud of myself. The rest, so it's nice. It's a present. So you need to align your heart. You need to align your mind. So, fine. So this is the third secret, or they're not real secret, but for people that they think that mindset is nothing, it's not going to help me with my life, I think it's a secret. There's one big rabbi, Mesilas Yesharim, Moshe Chaim. He says that he likes to share with the world most obvious things. People forget about them because they're so simple, so obvious. And in my program, when I help people, they did learn new things, but it's not the goal. Even if I have every seminar people come to me, and at least one person is a coach. At least one person, right? Just today I spoke with one successful businessman from Tri-State area, and he also learned a lot of coaching skills, and he wants to join me, and he wants to get all his employees to join like separate training for them. It also happens. We're still in negotiations. Okay, good. So it was a bit fast. I understand I don't speak as clearly as I wish, but maybe one day I'll be better. And it's also was time constraint. When I have my seminars, I'm much slower, much clearer. I have more time. But let me ask a question. So it's been now 60 minutes or so, and I hope those who stayed here, hopefully they got a good experience, and I hope you got fun and some value as well. It's hard to cover everything in 60 minutes. But I have a question for you. If I had a way for you to be able to continue this conversation, continue to learn what we learned today, how to work on your mindset, to create a mindset of a successful human being, of Ish Matzliach, how many of you would be interested? I'm just curious. Daniel, okay. User, take the phone, thank you. Yes, for Shlomi. Oh, awesome. Okay, good. So let me show. Okay, first, thank you. Let me show. Then I have your permission, and I'll show you. Not yet, but it's been disabled with perspective. Shlomi, beautiful, awesome. Thank you for the openness. And okay, so let me share with you what. Let me share with you actually my. So I do have a program. I have quite a few. I have someone from Australia right now. He came from this kind of webinar as well. He misses 2 hours of every Wednesday. It's 14 hours apart of his work. It was important for him. I have someone from Switzerland. Would wake up at 2 in the morning. So let me share with you how they share. Okay, share. Let me share with you what I discovered. There are 8 ingredients that you need in order to create that mindset the 8 ingredients. So the ingredient number one, we touched upon a little bit. We go much more in depth. It's design your ideal life, to have a vision, understand what you really want on certain areas of your life. I'll show you, I do this work as well. Second, let me just show you. So here, yeah, okay, I'm just now working on this. So I work in certain areas of my life. So I believe, I feel what we discovered, another thing which is super important. However you in one thing, that's how you're going to be in everything else. The way you are in one area in your life, that's how you're going to be in every area in your life. The way it works out with our program is we have to create a vision for our entire life. I discovered certain areas. If you find more, I'll be happy to add more. Certain areas of your life, business, spirituality, health, relationships, whatever it is. Then we hyper focus on one area, so which means we create vision for all of them. Why are we doing this if you don't work on your vision on all areas? First of all, you can't work on everything. You just can't work on everything at the same time. You're just not going to be able. Fast, we roll a lot of fast. If you try to grab a lot, you're not going to keep anything. Okay, so hyper focus on one area. But what happens is that your work on one area spills over to other areas in your life. So that's why it's important for us. I believe the alignment, another level of alignment, it's not just one area, but your entire life. You want to be successful in your business, you have to work on your health. You have to work on your spirituality, whatever it means for you, on your relationship with your family, right? If those areas will suffer, then everything else will suffer as well. So that's kind of another major breakthrough that I got. But this is, let me show you, and I still work on this. And what I do with my clients in the program, we create this vision for them, and then they have to rate each of the areas. I ask them after 8 weeks to rate it again, without looking at what they wrote before, the number. Just they rate it again, and quite a few areas get better already within 8 weeks. Without you're a human being, you're not going to drop everything just because you're focused on your business, right? You're still going to be whatever you do. You're married, or you have a life, and other things. But somehow, since you work on that one area, you use the same muscles. Like if you're able to work on lifting one weight, you're gonna be able to lift a guitar and table, right? Just different things, different applications, but the same muscles. And then it just gets much faster. Okay, so this first step that I discovered, and we go really. So this is the foundation for the entire program for us. And we refer to like dominoes, like I shared with you dominoes, we refer to dominoes. And second, purpose, meaning, motivation. So you want to, in that area, you want to connect your heart. You want to create that fuel, which is going to get you to that goal. And once again, we don't promise for you to be able to get from A to Z. That's your job. But we help with the hardest thing, which is, it's called Kolos Holos Kash Centauri. All the beginnings are hard. The hardest thing is to start the process, to initiate. Once you be able to get from A to B, from B to C, it's much easier to get to. So fine, living the heart. Then third ingredient is I shortly mentioned the idea of your identity, to create your health identity in different parts of your life, different areas of your life, and this identity will give you a direction what to do. Okay. Number 4, this one has to do with the way you properly view your successes, right? So this one has to do with certain level of strengthening your vessel, right? Once you're able to measure yourself properly, you get in a more positive state of mind, you strengthen your mindset, you become a stronger person who is able to accomplish way more. So the first 4 are kind of positive, and then the other 4 ingredients, we go into the negative part of you and turn it around. So this, to stop your self-sabotage behavior. By the way, I promised to share with you a link. I just remembered, thank God. So that's to stop self-sabotage behavior. So that's one thing. Then there's a little overlap, limiting beliefs. You have to do, because if you, let me show you that, 1 second, let me see. I had a guy, was crazy thing. There's crazy thing, which I discovered. This was unbelievable. When I shared with my my colleagues, they just, wow, that's crazy and it's real. This one guy joined me. If you want to come to my program, welcome. But there are conditions. You have to commit to do the work. If you don't want to do the work, I can't accept you. It's not an entertainment, not just fun 8 weeks. It's real work, and I take pride in it, and I want to be able to be successful, right? You gotta do the work. So this one guy, that's one of the guys that I learned the hard way. He joined us, and he has a very, his business could be successful because he has a great product, and he's one of the top people in that industry. People run after him. What he does, he's self-sabotaging behavior. He doesn't call back to his prospects and doesn't do the work. Certain fear out there, certain not trusting was one of them. And his limited belief was his father would tell him that you should not start business ever because it's not stable. All you should be doing all your life, 9 to 5, stable, good job. And that became his limited belief. Every time he wakes up in the morning, he's just like, why don't I feel excited about my business, right? Okay, fine. But this guy did not do any homework. What he really wanted is to find a partner. So this partner would deal with sales, with clients, and he just would do the work, which is he's expert in. In the middle of program, this guy tells me, David, I need to talk to you. He drove all the way from, and I get a reveal from where, whatever, he drove all the way 2 hours drive to here to my office in Staten Island. And he tells me, someone from New Jersey called him, Lakewood. They have people from Lakewood here, and told him he would like to start partnership with him. He's like real macher, like he does great things. It's like, he got very excited, but he got very scared. Came here and for me to coach him, because in my program, one thing I do is I'm accessible for people for 8 weeks. So fine. I spoke about it. I said, okay, fine, I'm gonna try to see if this partnership works or not. He did not do any exercises, he did not do any work with us. He was just like staring at the screen every time. And I was like, what is this guy has been doing here? Fine. Program was over, and I asked him, like, did you actually finally like become? Because I asked the guys, like, what are your wins? What did you gain from today's session? Everyone gained something. This guy, like, nothing. I told him, I think you gained something. I think you manifested in your life partnership which you didn't have before. I'm sorry, like, you don't even know. For years you can't have a partner. You joined my program, started to focus on this. From nowhere, just this guy appeared in your life. Right? You created, okay, fine. I don't need to brag about it, but for him to understand how powerful his mind is. He's like, I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no. I asked him after the program was over. I messaged him. I like, no, you reviewed how is the partnership. He told me the last moment before they signed the agreement, the guy felt something is off and decided not to go into partnership. To me, what was almost like right away obvious, because I think differently, I look differently at things because of my experience, what I do with people, is that this guy manifested his own insecurities, mistrust. A few things: insecurity, mistrust, limited beliefs. So if you have this roadblock inside of you, the way a person wants to walk, that's how they guide him. But if your want is very much polluted with all the stones, all these roadblocks, how far are you gonna get, right? So that's why I hired someone to make sure that a few things happen. It's actually as a part of the program, I hired my own coach. He wrote a book. It's called The Wisdom of Getting Unstuck. Not promote his books here, but that's his area. To help people to get unstuck. This part of the thing, what we do with people, to help people so here, overcome limited beliefs, rewriting your past to create your ideal future. That's also another major thing. Your past does affect you, and doesn't make difference how old you may be, right? Doesn't make difference. That in a child's mind, or when you were 30 years old, 20 years old, however old you are, you have certain negative experience. That negative experience in psychology, in therapy, in psychology, I call it trauma. Trauma is, simply put, unprocessed negative, the wisdom of getting unstuck. So I asked me how the book is called. I'm not saying I didn't read this book. I don't know much about it, so I'm not taking any responsibility. But he wrote this book, right? And he was my coach. I hired him. Part of the process is so he helps me to create accountability, and I have accountability partners as well to make sure you actually do the work. Okay. Trauma is unprocessed negative experience, and we all have this on different levels. I just spoke with someone just yesterday. He told me, 2 days ago, he has trauma from talking to his spouse about something a few years ago and never processed it. Okay, and the final ingredient, which is mega powerful, people need to hear this and experience it. It's leaping from fear to confidence. There are three things. Okay, perfect. Somebody has a question to me on WhatsApp or on LinkedIn. You can find me. I know it's now past our bedtime. I said 9:45. It's now 9:47. Sorry for that. So in fear, there are three things. Either you can ignore fear, something's important. You channel that fear into something much more positive. And third approach, you go with the fear. It's called courage. You go with the fear, right? So you have to know when to apply what, when to ignore it, when to channel it, right? Properly, and when sometimes you cannot channel your fear, when to actually go with the fear. We call it courage. So this is the program. It's an 8-week program. So if there's interest here, continue this conversation in a deeper way, not just it's not about information, it's about transformation. I tell my clients when they join us to stop reading self-help books. If you read them, I don't know, not everyone reads them, but if you read those self-help books, I ask them gently to stop, unless you're like life coach and need to help your client, which is every program have at least one life coach joins us, because it's not about information, it's about transformation. You want to actually start applying the information, not just so the special thing I can tell you is I'm not going to tell you about price. You want to join it, whatever, you let me know if you want to join. We do have a discount for people that are part of the webinar. There's discount from our regular price if you reach out to me until Sunday night. Now it is what? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sunday. And then we can talk about it. And if you want, you can join our program and be one of those people that actually work on their mindset in a real and meaningful way. Okay. I'm going to, so people that were in touch with me through via WhatsApp or messaging, just reach out to me. If you have any questions, I'm available. If you found me through LinkedIn, so just send me a message on LinkedIn and we can have a conversation. Usually what I do, I give you 30 minutes up to 1 hour of discovery session to see if it's to see what your situation is, what you work on, if it can help you or not. Just within last 2 weeks, I said no to 3 people. Just want to tell you, so it's not for everyone, right? And it usually takes me a couple of minutes to figure out. And if I see it makes sense, then it can help you. Because I don't want to take people that are not gonna, if there's no chance for them to get to their goals, they're not ready for this. Once again, I'm not guaranteeing that you'll be successful. Many people are successful. But if you want to jump in, just let me know. I'm going to stay here online for a few more minutes. If you have any questions, you can also continue here. Okay. Officially, our webinar is over.